Hello, Art Party. My name is Lisa Rasmussen. I'm a transformative artist living in Santa Monica, California. I am here. I have many projects going on, but I'm here to talk about my nonprofit, which is Art is Moving. I call it Viva la Art is Moving because I feel that it's transformed into something that's good for the world. So basically, we've developed something called Take an Art Break movement. And what I'd like to talk to you about today, the power of taking a daily art break, the power of collaboration, finding the right person to collaborate, and the power of community art. So basically, let's see if this works. I met my collaborator, Lauren Odell Usher, in graduate school. We were at JFK in Berkeley. We were studying arts and consciousness. We both got our MFAs. And we just hit it off. We both knew in our minds, well, I knew and she knew that art is really beneficial for everybody, not just artists. And I know that art saves lives. It saved my life. And Lauren was really passionate about art should be for everybody. No one should not be doing art. So in 2008, we developed we formed Art is Moving. And it was basically, we'd go around to museums and kind of try to make art more inclusive. And at that moment in time in museums, they were not inclusive, meaning there was no interaction, meaning none, no art stations. So the world has changed and we're really excited about that transformation. So basically, we formed Art is Moving to make art more inclusive, and also we honed in on it that everybody needs to do art always, every day. So as we move on, we defined the art break. It's an intentional act of creativity. So it's really the ultimate self-care for you and for communities. How can I take a moment out of my life and draw and just get out of the automatic space, or you know what I mean? Just get something new information, things like that. So basically that happened. And then collaboration. Let's talk about collaboration. I think the beauty, collaboration is a hard thing because I think typically a lot of artists are very individual. There's something, but if you can find a friend or a partner that it has to be energy, meaning it has to be, I feel collaboration is like a number 8, and it has to be fluid, and each person has to be giving and taking and giving and taking. And I'm so lucky that I found Lauren, because over these, a decade, we've been collaborating for a decade. It's always been the H. It's always been giving and receiving. And if you find somebody that's not doing that, I suggest you don't collaborate unless you want a life lesson. Just, try to attract that person, because it is, honestly, to one person is enough, but 2 people is so much more. And when you can bounce ideas and really create a field of transformation, it becomes quite a blessing. So anyways, let's move on. And I was thinking about talking about the power of art, and we were saying that everybody needs to create art, take an art break on a daily basis. And I came across this amazing study, and I knew this, you know this, right? We were all born with creative geniuses. The shocking findings, this is shocking, I didn't know this was this extreme, but NASA did a test, and they tested children on their creative genius. At that moment in time, they were 5 years old. 98% of those kids were geniuses. By the time they became 10, only 30%. By the time they were 15, 12, and guess what happened at 31%? 2%. So that means, for me, if we reflect on it, it means that we're all born artists and we all need to create. And when we create, I think we manifest our greatest potential. So that's what Art is Moving is really about. It's being an education, and also creating events and activities and programs that really get people to embrace their creative genius. And it honestly, it is artist process in this take an art break. It doesn't matter what it looks like, but if, you know, it can matter what it looks like, but it's just like just doing the action of creativity is so amazing for us as humans. And I think we have to do it. I think we live in such a crazy place, like stress is beyond limits. We're conditioned, you know, we're zombies, we're angry, blah, blah, we're anxious. I think, you know, art is medicine, truly, and it is our medicine, and it costs nothing. I mean, it costs a pen and a piece of paper, but really it's free medicine. So we encourage you to take an art break. And then even, you know, science backs it up so much. They've done so many studies on it. It's like the benefits of taking an art break. Creating art relieves stress, like a lot of stress. Art encourages creative thinking. Art boosts self-esteem. It provides a sense of accomplishment. Art increases brain connectivity and plasticity. I would also add, for my own life and as an artist and a transformative artist and a teacher, I would add it facilitates transformation, alchemy, and growth. It is a bridge. I feel it truly is a bridge between your subconscious and conscious mind. I always, I teach in another program that I develop. It's women's retreats to sacred sites around the world. And I say that the art is the oracle, which I feel it is. It, you know, it has information that you've never seen before. And if you study it, reflect on it, you know, you can learn so much about your inner self, your imagination, and your powers, and your weaknesses, and what you need to transform. So the concept is just play. You know, take an art break, just play, serious play, just seriously play every day. And as she says, serious art is born from serious play, and I agree with that. So art is really at its core play. It's play. Meaning there's no rules, you just go for it. So our story, Art is Moving, how we became who we are. In 2009, we got an amazing art grant to take the art to the streets. So literally, I think Lauren and I were collaborated because we wanted to take the art to the streets. We wanted to take the art to the people. So we literally got funded to have an art cart that we would drag down the streets of Oakland in some not so safe places and set up a table with art supplies, and anybody that walked by, we'd be like, hey, you want to make art for free? People would sit down. People that would never talk to each other would sit down, and we would have these amazing conversations. It was like, wow, this is what community art does. You know, I think in community art, they call it dialogical art, meaning it's a conversation, and it's just so easy. I mean, it's like barriers just dissolve. So we from the art cart was like, oh my gosh, this is it. This is it. If we had art carts on every corner of the world, this world would be a better place. If people could just sit down and create art for one moment in time, that would be amazing. So from that amazing experience, through that, it was a summer program. I think it was a couple months, we collected over 1,000 works of art, and we showed them at a festival, and that's the picture of this kid right here at the festival and the installation of the art. And it was amazing also for people who created the art to see what other people created and how the connection is when you know, I feel that art is a psychic imprint, meaning it comes from your subconscious, I think, as I spoke before. So it's like it's part of you that's on the paper, and the power is you can feel the energy of that person. And when you really absorb it, you kind of take on that. So also we know that art increases empathy. So, you know, consider that. It's like for people to create in a community together and then to witness each other's art. And that is, they kind of like see each other in their art and in other art. It's pretty phenomenal. And so from the art cart, we decided that every corner on the planet needed to take an art break. So we developed Art Break Day, which we thought the first Friday in September, because that was around Labor Day, and kind of like in our American society, that would be like, you know, I'm taking a break from my labor. But what if we thought, oh, on that first Friday, you just take a break, you create. And so we started in the Bay Area with 5 sites in 2011. Now 2018, which is our 8th year of facilitating Art Break Day. We have over 50 art sites around the world: India, Malaysia, the Philippines. So we're really excited. There's my kitty Maya. She's adding to the conversation. So over the years, since 2011, we have facilitated with amazing volunteers around the planet who have the same vision as us to just get people to create. And what happens when they create? 26,000, almost 27,000 art breaks in over 2,003 communities. And we thank our amazing volunteers, 574 to date. It's just phenomenal. It's for us, I feel that art is moving is our service to the world. We are both professional artists, and we have our own practices and our own, Lauren and I are both professional and we do our own projects, but for us, I feel like art is moving was our service to the world. That's for me what community art is. It's really service. It's something that's larger than yourself, and when you're facilitating Art Break Day or Art Card or any public art, it's like it's not about you. It becomes about the collective, which is so amazing. It's so amazing to watch. It's that juicy point in, where you're watching a table and everybody's creating, and sometimes there's that little silent space, and that's where the magic is. And when you see it and you feel it, you're like, oh my gosh, everybody is like in bliss. I think they're in bliss. And I know that art is magic. So here's some folks in Oregon. Look at this amazing piece right here with he did his father creating. Here are several other pictures of people creating. I love it. It really is a treasure, Art Break Day. So with that, we also have other programs. We really want to get people engaged in art. Like, how can you just take an art break? So we have this program with all the art that we got from the Art Break, our Art Break Days and the Art Card. People don't want it, so we are actually gifting it. So we call it Give an Art Break. So you actually we'll send it in snail mail, which is pretty cool, to a friend or a family member or an enemy or a frenemy or whatever you call it. We will send them an art break, and it's a surprise because it's in the mail. So that's amazing. We do monthly, we do an art break calendar where every day of the month is ideas for you to do art breaks. And if you do them, make sure you take an art break. We also do art break month. What if on 1 month you're like, I'm gonna create a series of works, or I'm gonna have a goal to maybe have a gallery show, or something, or a show at a cafe or whatever. It's kind of like Art Break Month is kind of like the goal month or like a challenge. And then we really talk about on our website the benefits of art and the benefits of taking art break. And, just think about it. What if we all, just took an art break? And what if you all facilitated other people to take an art break? So really, my call to action for you, amazing art partiers, is join us on our 8th annual Artist Moving Art Break Day. It's on September 7th. And make art with the world. That really is our tagline. Make art with the world. I have this vision, like there's all these creative fires, when people are on Art Break Day, and eventually it'll all be like a worldwide web of creation. So you can host an Art Break Day in your community. You can do it with friends. Just please register your site so we can record it, because that's part of the energy, the recording that it's happening in time and space. So go to artistmoving.org to look up Art Break Day. And the other call to action, I know you're all artists because you are partying with the art. I would ask you to do a little experiment. Feed your inner creative genius. Try taking an Art Break Day for at least 5 minutes. And again, if you need 5 minutes a day, that's all. It's like, do it when you're having coffee, see what happens. Do an experiment with yourself, because art is life, right? And when the two merge, that is what it's all about. So if you need some tips or inspiration, go to our Instagram. We post there too, which is artismoving.org on Instagram. And also we share daily art break ideas. So I think Art is Moving wants to tell you that art is all our power. And if you activate it in other people through Art Break Day or through having an art cart or a community art event, it's amazing and it's magical and it's simple. It's a real simple recipe. You just give people paper, art supplies, and give them the freedom and the non-judgment zone that's important to create, and then just talk, have a conversation. And that for me is the power of taking an art break and the power of collaboration, because Lauren, I could never have done this without you. 26,000 art breaks in the world, now coming probably up to 36,000 for this year. And really just take an art break and savor that. Be mindful of taking an art break. So with that, party on and enjoy. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at artismoving@gmail.com. All right. You know your art, right? Okay. Let me try to turn this up. Let's see what happens. All right.